Okay, today, let's see. I'm going to talk about um, mantra, right? Mantra Sambhava. And before I'm talking about this, then kind of background of the mantra. We have to know the two truths, the relative truth and absolute truth. And then we will see glimpse of the mantras and the beneficial and so forth. It has lots of meanings, of course. It's not a simple something, but we can talk about it further explanation about mantras. And first, um, the relative truth, it's that's the kind of foundation of Mahayana Buddhism. We always emphasize the two truths. And without understanding of two truths, then it's very hard to accomplish anything, right? So relative truth, it's what we see, hear, and everything. This is we call relative truth. It relatively exists, and um, what we seeing, hearing, tasting, anything that is relatively exist, right? Relative truth is their causes and conditions, and the self and others, and then just a whole of our life. We call it relatively exist. Um, then within there we have causes and the conditions. If we perform some meritorious activities, then it will affect positive. If we perform negative activities, then it affects negatively. This is relative, right? Cause and effect. And then relatively and other phenomena exist, like up and down, as example. And up exists because down, right? Down exists because it's up. It's a relatively exist. And yeah, if you look at that way, then every phenomena is a relative reality. And the relative reality, there is no such truth for one thing. It depends, viewers and opinions, right? As human beings, we have something seeing something, but not everybody sees the same thing. Yeah, this is all relative reality. And like, for example, dark, um, the light and the dark, right? And for us, the dark is we don't see it. Some, like a bird, owl, and others, they don't have aspirations to seeing through this. Dark is a kind of light. Light is their dark aspiration to seeing things. Yeah, it's all relative. And then, relatively, we as human being, the five skandhas, all put it together, then there's self. The self is exist. And if you look at it very carefully, then if you a little bit move further, absolute point of view, then we have different perspective of the self and all other phenomena. And as Dharma practitioners, we should know this reality. It's very crucial. Without understanding this reality, then mantras, visualizations, it doesn't work. That means that the Dharma must be antidote of the kleshas, right? And the Dharma is that we call the realization, the reality, understanding reality. That way we can ease of the troubles. Usually we don't see its problems. Through the realization of Dharma, then we can get rid of some unnecessary carry on something that we call the kleshas. So one of klesha is we call ego clinging. Everybody has it. Some has stronger than others. Everybody has kleshas, right? That's, if you look at the teaching of the Buddhas over 2,600 years ago, at that time, what they described, these kleshas problems, it's the same as now. They're exactly talking about what we have problems. In terms of relate to this, almost nothing changed. And so through practice Dharma, then, yeah, we should get rid of the kleshas. This is some sort of goal, whether we're visualizing like Shakyamuni Buddha or reciting mantras. Today is going to talk about mantra of Sambhava, right? It's just exactly the same thing. It's all based on understanding the reality. Relative level of reality, that's relative truth. And absolute level of reality, that's we call absolute truth. Relatively, self, you and me, it is all phenomena exist according to one's own opinions and according to one's senses and the perceptions. It exists. And the self exists, it's dependent on the form of our body, which is made by 5 elements, the earth, our bone and the flesh, it's kind of element. It's composed by earth, then a blood, it's part of water, and then we have heat, it's part of elements of fire, then breathing, this energy, it's an element of wind. Then we have space inside, or whole body itself. It's a kind of space is pervasive, right? It's element of space. This all put it together that formed the body. And it's a born, remained a little while, then some point it's end completely. Same as if you look at trees, flowers, and others, exactly the same thing. But this is a hosting in our mind from Buddhist point of view. Mind is a different perspective of the self. It's very crucial, very important. Without understanding our mind, then it's very hard to practice Dharma. Its mantra is related to the mind. Some way we said protector of mind, right? If our mind is wandering, particularly if distracted, our mind, then yeah, it makes unhappy. Mantra is a holding on our mind. And so then, yeah, relatively the self exists. It's very important. It's related to causes, conditions, right? Just let know this. Then absolute point of view, the self doesn't exist as we hold it on. If you are the beginners or even, long period of time practice Dharma, study, intellectually understanding, but still we do have habitual patterns. It's very hard to actual understanding selflessness. If we do understand the selflessness, then we become relaxed. And yeah, gaining realizations, right? And it's almost life-changing. We don't have to be kind of fabricating or doing a lot, something, adding, just naturally being relaxed and understanding this reality without any rejecting and so forth. Yeah, it's a kind of, uh, um, it's important some way. It takes time. Maybe some people easy to understand. It's most as like us, it takes time to understand this. And first have to study a little bit about the self, deeper level of self. Then we use analyze of to understand it, right? Is there we do have self, particularly when we have struggle and troubles, or frustrated, angry, or whatever, glacial attack in self that makes unhappy, dissatisfied something. Then it's you as Dharma practitioners use that tools, investigate it, where it's located, the self. Is it at the head? The head has many parts. Is it legs, arms, or inner organs? Which part of the self that we call? It's all fabricated or put it together, lots of things. It's the same as all houses, cars, and everything. There are many parts put it together and they be labeled that something. And when we see this, then hold it on and grasp and fix it. But that's from Dharma point of view, we created troubles. It's a target to hurting the self. If we strengthen that kind of pattern, then it's a feel insecurity and hurts and frustrated. A lot of things occur there. It's not makes better, it makes worse from Dharma point of view. And then how we can fix that problems, then we have to understand. Understanding that we call realization based on the reasonings. It's not just believing or hoping something, right? And once use own intelligent. One's own intelligent means that we do have special mental intellectual as human being because our body is special. Our inner organs, mind work with this organs, and the brain is part of it, heart is part of it, and all other senses. So then here in the Buddha teaching, Buddhas and other great masters teaching saying that, oh, we should use, investigate it, look at what we hold it on the me, self, where it's located. If you don't look at carefully, then of course that's me here. If you carefully look at it, then it has lots of layers. And it's very hard to find, actually. And sometimes maybe you feel like it's, yeah, mind, it's thought. And then if you look at thought itself, It's not really the Sa. It's not that simple understanding. That's why we do have different philosophies about the Sa. In the past, since of maybe human beings exist or sentient beings exist, there's different opinions. From Buddhism point of view, that I'm talking about, there's no eternal, permanent, single truly exist the Sa, that inside of the body or part of mind, there's no place like this. But mind is exist, right? Relatively mind is exist. We know it, we understand. And this awareness, understand the sublessness. There's no particular Sa. And there's no particular holding on something. Everything is fabricated, right? Which means it's not truly exist in the nature of reality. If you understand this, then it's freed from the boundaries. And of course, still awareness is here. You aware of it, you understand. It's not like deep sleep. Nothing awareness is going on, something, right? You're aware of it, you understand. At the same time, you can't hold on and grasp anything. It's a completely freedom. Within there, that's the view. And there, the potential is limitless from Dharma point of view. We don't even 1%, or usually we don't see it. We see it, this mass, stuff, because our mind included by the kleshas, karma and kleshas, right? That's how we perceive. The reality is beyond of this. Then we do have lots of pure perceptions, Rams, Buddhas, Bodhisattvas. And yeah, it's limitless. And so, as Dharma practitioner, today is going to talk about Pema right? Pema mantra. Mantra, it's another of energy of this reality, right? It appears as many forms. And the one we hold it like Pema as a great master, tantric master. Sometimes we call the second Buddha. It came this world as enlightened being, spread Dharma, particular Vedic teachings in the world, and that the blessed millions Dharma practitioners, devotees, direct or indirectly, kind of feel it, experience it, right? Place of the Pema. And some devotee of Pema recited these mantras. Om, Om, he said, some said Om, then Vajra, Guru, Pema, Vide, Om. Someone said Om, either is okay. And mantra, it has meanings. And one of treasure revealer called Karmalingpa, who is revealed the Tibetan book of the day. And he revealed one small text, explanation of these mantras, Om, Om. Vajra, Guru, Pema, Siddhi, Hum, right? And it says that it's essence of all the Buddhas. And it has many meanings of those mantras, right? Every syllable has all the significant meaning. Om, usually we described Om Hum. Om is the seed syllable of all the Buddha's body. Is seed syllable of the speech, all the Buddha's speech. Hum is all the seed syllable of all the Buddha's mind, wisdom. And the Vajra, this also we call Vajra too. And but same spelling. But here it's meaning, fundamental nature of reality or mind. Indestructible. Unchangeable, right? Indestructible. As Dharma practitioners, we have to accomplish later it's called siddhi. This is the siddhi. If you understand this, then we are great Dharma practitioners. Actually, all the Dharma practitioners, even if we don't know it, of someone who understands how to practice Dharma, the goal is to understand this, Vajra, fundamental nature of reality. This is the guru, one's own guru. Someone who has this discovered. It's our guru, like Pema Sambhala. Spreading those teachings for us. Dharma is Pema Sambhava's name. He was born in Lotus, according to his biographies. He's not ordinary birth. He wasn't birthed that way. Miraculous birth, we call it. The siddhi I described, siddhi as there's a siddhi. We have two levels of the siddhis. One, it's a temporary ordinary siddhi, which is health, long life, wealth, and those type of, we call it siddhi. Then the ultimate siddhi is achieve enlightenment or achieve some realizations, giving rise to bodhicittas and a compassion, right? To realize one's innate nature of the mind. It's invoking this mantras when we recite and to gain those realizations, receive a blessing from a Sambhava. And another way of describing this mantras, it's a Brahma Sambhava appears as a sound. Om Ahom, rather than Guru Brahma Siddhi Om. Okay? And when we recite a mantra, of course, we should have faith. Faith is very important. Faith, according to the Buddhism teachings described, we shouldn't have this immediately, blind faith. If you want to investigate it, examine it, to gaining some sort of confidence, trust, faith. And if you have that, then mantra has its power. And when we recite mantra, then it brings good fortune, right? Accumulating a lot of merit. This mantra is blessed by the great master like Pema and others. When we recite this, then what they made aspirations fulfill. And also recite those mantras, remove obstacles. And yeah, that's why the great Dharma practitioners just reciting a lot of mantras, like Pema mantras. It's very hard to explain the subtle level of this reality, right? As I already mentioned. It works. And millions Dharma practitioners have recited this mantra. And with respect, the devotion, and the faith, and with mindfulness. Mind is not distracted, not too speed when we recite this. If you want to slow, it's okay. Sometimes even you can recite silently those mantras.
I'm going to finish this and then I'm going to...
And yeah, finished. Have to finish quickly. Yeah, I think this is what we recite mantra is very, very helpful. Yeah, that is pretty much about the mantra of Pema. And Pema himself mentioned is that this mantra is not just only mantra of himself. It's mantra of all the Buddhas. Some way, all the Buddha is pretty much same thing, right? The fundamental level of reality. There's no differences, even for us. It's not separated. And yeah, that's just I think a mantra of Pema Om Ahom, when we recite this. And then we are reciting all the Buddha's body, speech, mind, right? Vajra, Guru, Pema, Siddhi, Om, or Om. And just recite it when you have free time or your mind is distracted, maybe just focus on those mantras. Any Pema recommended carved, you can see in many places, carved on the rock, print, and on the side, there's many ways spreading those mantras in order to benefit for others, right? Seeing, hearing, and so forth. As just general Dharma practitioners, then we should recite silently or mumbly, clearly just recite. Sometimes listen as someone reciting those mantras with melody, sound, right? Yeah, it's possible So that's, I think, pretty much about mantra of Sambhava. And one, if you look at every phenomena, has a different energy. Some medicines, a substance, right? Every substance has certain energy and qualities. And some substance put it together, it brings another something happened, right? Similar, this mantra has that kind of qualities. This mantra is positive, brings positive energy in the Dharma of realizations, to move the obstacles. Because this mantra involved a lot of aspirations of the Buddha's Bodhisattvas. And we as follower of the Dhammasambhava, or believers, something, then we should recite regularly mantra of Dhammasambhava. I think it's a tremendous helpful. Dhammasambhava is not separated our innate nature mind. This mantra is also not separated. It's another energy of this reality, right? If we engage this way, reciting, then likely we can, understand internal this awareness. And ease of fear and kleshas, anger, or hated anything, or wrong view, through this, method, recitations. Yeah, I think this is pretty much today's my talk. If you have any questions, please raise hand. Yeah.
When we're speaking about the mind and we're stuck in these corporeal bodies,
yeah,
and we're practicing meditation, I find that it's somewhat easier to know I'm upset when my heart is racing or I feel shaky, but sort of the corporeal body above the shoulders, this brain, it's a little harder for me to see when negative kleshas attacks are happening.
Okay.
And so I remember one time, I believe you saying something along the lines of that the mind is limitless. So even if I feel frustrated, could you speak on how the mind can overcome these things if it's limitless?
Okay. The mind, when we say mind, then just we are talking relative reality. Then if we train the mind, this is according to Dharma teachings. Mind is not like physical body. But if you train the physical body, like jump from certain places, such as something, then you can make it much better if you repeat over and over again. Some places, jump, and you can't jump, miles. Mind is saying that it's not like this. If we train our mind, then you can train compassion, for example, limitless compassion. You could train. You can train loving kindness and any realizations. It's a limitless. And then, if you look at qualities of the mind, usually we don't see. Most people just mind chasing this phenomena, even though we don't know it, but it's how this mind works. And the judging and the grasping. as long as anything, we hold it on grasping something, then we tight there. And it's boundary in the samsara and creating the karma. If you grasp something bad, then it's creating bad karma. Karma means that now you are creating causes problems. Even just immediately affect if you hold it, grasp something. And that's just a relative reality of the mind. Then, as Dharma practitioners, have to be like a lion. In the teachings, describe lion and dog. Maybe we don't see here chasing, dog chasing a stone, a wood, something. We are not throwing. If you go to the yak place, then it makes sense. The dog's wild dog, right? It comes towards to you. If you throw the rock, it's chasing the rock and they grab it. And here, that's usually our mind. If you see something, then it's there. Jump it and hold it on. And then others, if you hear something, then mind go there. If you see something, then mind goes there. If you taste it, then it's all just normal experiencing. Mind hold it on, chasing the object. The problem is that as Dharma practitioners, be like lion. Just of course, this and analogies, right? Example. Lion said, if you throw something in the lion is not chasing the steak or rock, chasing the person. Similar mind, not chasing look at the mind itself. Yeah, that's just the method. Have to look at the mind itself. It's a little bit hard to see this way because we have the patterns always, out there. But as Dharma practitioner, particularly Mahayana Dharma practitioners, we have to look at inward mind itself. There are many teachings, methods, looking mind itself. Some point, you can see emptiness too. Of course, if you're really carefully aware of it, then you see mind is emptiness. It's a good thing. But if you're thinking, oh, this is emptiness, then another you are grasping. But it's better than others, holding on something. And the point here is that if you inwardly aware of mind itself, then it is emptiness. You know it. Mind itself knowing it. At the same time, it's awareness. You understand. And you can't finger point it. What it is. It's like a space, right? We feel like the space exists, but if you really, what it is, it's very hard to describe because we don't see it. We can't hold on. It's similar, our mind is like. That's why in the Dharma teachings saying that mind is like space. That is the final describing this reality. The space is the subtlest, this phenomenon. Everything occurs in space, right? Space, we can't fix anything. Creating anything. whatever occur in the space, but space never change anything. The thoughts and emotions arising in the mind, but fundamental level of mind is nothing changing. And as Dharma practitioners, then we have to understand this, right? It's crucial because if you don't understand that level of reality, then we have, lots of problems. If you do understand, still problems much, much better, but internally, mentally much healthier and happier and more relaxed. It's become comfortable in yourself and grounded and relaxed. I think that's some point that we call happiness, right? Okay, and here, do you have any questions online? If you have it, raise hand, then yeah, Mike, go ahead.
My question is inspired by Obama. We were talking and when we were talking about questions, and she brought it to my mind that my question was her question. And so I know when we're talking about the four establishments of mindfulness, there's a component that talks about the emptiness of phenomena. And so technically a question is phenomena. And so could you discuss emptiness of questions and emptiness of speech?
Emptiness of questions? What does it mean that?
That
Yeah, all phenomena is empty. Empty means it's related to Dharma teachings. It's emptiness means that nothing truly exists. If something relatively exists, it's dependent on, many parts, put it together. We said exist, right? If you carefully look at it, then you can take a part of it. Each part of is not the same as what we think. For example, like a book, many papers put it together, the book exists, right? That's how we are looking. Relatively nobody arguing this. Of course, great the Buddhist masters, they have knowledge, studied many years, and inner wisdom, right? And at some point they say that don't arguing with common sense. You should accept common sense as reality. And everybody agree it exists, then just relatively it exists. But that's just the relative reality. Then what are we seeing? What are we experiencing? These appearances, this is the absolute reality. Everybody's seeing the same thing. Or is there beyond of this something? Then there is another phenomenon, we have to look at. It's saying that what are we seeing? These appearances, it's related to the mind, it's related to our eyes, hearing sound, it's related to mind, and also it's related to ears and the perceptions. There's nothing truly exists. Some situations, if we see, hear, makes happy, and other people, it makes unhappy. And we see it's red, maybe others see it's a yellow, or maybe there's no color. This all related to the perceivers. If your mind is disturbed, filled with the klesha, then you perceive everything is dirty and problems. You can complaining stuff and everything. If your mind is purified, filled with wisdom, the realization, realize it is reality, then you have perspective of self. It's different. And you feel much, much better. And perceiving phenomena is different. If our mind completely get rid of this klesha is not just, take out there something, it's not like this. It's inner wisdom just arising, then opposite of this kleshas just disappears, right? If the light is touching in the dark room, then dark is just disappears. The same thing. Yeah, that's exactly the same thing. If that's occur, then our perception will be changed. And here, your question is that then the reality, when we say emptiness, then everything we call said emptiness. That means the book, if we put it lots of things, put it together, we call it a book, right? One page is not a book. Two pages is not a book, right? All the pages put it together, then we label as the book. Or should we give it name? Then we will see this kind of, oh, this is a book. And this all fabricated. There's nothing in here, the book, something. This is not a book, this is not a book. And this has, upper part, lower part. Upper part is not lower one. Lower is not upper part of the book. It's all things put together. Even the one page is the same thing. There's many parts. Each part is not other ones. And then there's, if you say, oh, there's the paper made it wood, yeah, hundreds cause conditions involved here. Then there is a subtle, we call it atom, partless particle. If there's something formed, right? Even that, if you look at, then it becomes space. That space, they say it's very hard to describe. If you hold it on something of that space, particular mind, if you look at mind, it's a great example. This need a simple method. Just inwardly look at mind itself, aware of it. Then, some point it exists because we know it. Knowing you are thinking, right? Aware of it, something. On the other hand, it doesn't. Because it doesn't have any characteristics. You can't hear it, you can't see it, you can't hear it. Pure awareness. And this is emptiness at the end, and awareness. If you understand this, then there's freedom. It's not boundary, anything. And that's the same with every phenomenon. At this point, question is emptiness, answer is emptiness, everything. Our thoughts is emptiness, and everything is emptiness.